I changed the servo in this 1999 TD5 last night. I was in a hurry, so I just slapped the new one straight on and then spent that evening driving around with excessive brake pedal travel. So if you have a brake pedal travel problem and you've sorted the other things out, such as wheel bearings and discs and pads, if it has shoes on the back, shoe adjustment, such things, if you've gone through everything else, the way to adjust the pedal travel is on the push rod between the servo and the master cylinder. Land Rover don't mention this in their highly expensive manual, but there's a lot of other things they don't mention either. It's not the ABS model, thank the Lord. Who wants ABS on a Land Rover? I have a friend who has one and he has endless problems with it. The servo is connected to the pedal by a clevis pin, which is accessed through those two grommeted holes, one in either side. It had been fitted from this side, which means that it's rather awkward to get the split pin out from the other side. I used a pair of these long bent pliers to get the split pin out, and then I pulled the clevis from this side with a pair of small mole grips. Everything else is 13mm stuff. Undo these two first so that you can move the cylinder forward. I've pulled the vacuum pipe out of its grommeted socket, and now I'm undoing these four 13mm headed nuts which hold the servo onto its bracket, leaving the easiest one till last. I missed that bit. There is a wire. It was actually the reservoir warning wire clipped to the side of the servo, so I should have undone that first, but it's neither here nor there. Then, taking advantage of the flex that is available in the brake hoses, you can just wriggle the old servo out of the way. And now I've found the damage. It's just got a crack in it there where the cylinder bolts onto it. And when you take it off, be careful not to damage this rubber seal, because they don't always supply a new one with a new servo, and indeed they haven't with this. So now, before I put the master cylinder back on, I'm putting this clevis in, and it really is quite easy to put in from behind. Just pulling it to tap it home, but it's gone in. And the old servo was 25 years old, and if this one lasts 25 years old, I will be nearly 90 by the time I have to do it again. So I'm making it easy for myself next time. And I'm just using these pliers again to put the split pin back in. When you're working with split pins, you don't need to bend them into all sorts of silly shapes. All you have to do is just open them up just enough to stop them coming back out, unless they're going to catch on something. Then we pop the grommets back in, and that bit's done. I'm not going to use the new plug because I do know that if I try to get that pipe off the old one, something will break, because these hoses get hard with years of use. Now, it was supplied with a new O-ring for the back of the master cylinder, but that one looks in pretty good nick, which is more than can be said for the master cylinder flange. So I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to put it back on and hope for the best. And it's only the work of moments to take it off again if it doesn't work. There, I bet it didn't take 20 minutes, and I've got to say that the good people at Land Rover, the designers, must have been having a day off when this bit was designed, because it was all really straightforward and sensible. This is the push rod that we need to adjust the length of. I made this contraption just to compress the spring, so that I could have a good look at that multifaceted thing. Now, it has a multi-pointed swage on the end of the female part of the push rod. It has 14 points, so an ordinary spanner won't go on it. So under normal circumstances it's right down there, and just to point you in the right direction, I measured it and it's about 26¼ millimeters on this particular Land Rover, from the flat to the end of the push rod. Now you can have an assistant press the brake pedal, which will push that further out to make it easier to adjust, but actually getting the depth right, especially in situ, can be a problem. So I have made this spanner that fits on the 14 pointed affair. What I did, I got a scrap 8mm spanner, I cut a slit in it and I heated it red and opened it up just enough so that it will fit on, and with that I can hold the thing quite solid while I turn the end of the push rod with a 7mm socket. Now there is no lock nut on the original push rod on this servo. It just relies on a very tight thread. Now I'm having to adjust this thing in situ because I was in a hurry last night when I put the servo on, and I was hoping for the best, and the best didn't happen. Anyway, the original Land Rover push rod has a 7mm hexagon, and the spurious one has a 6mm hexagon and a lock nut to mess about with. So what you can do is make yourself a depth gauge to make the new servo match the old one. Anything will do. A piece of wood with a wood screw in it would do, but I've made this one out of 12mm nuts and bolts. 12mm because that's the size of the washer that I happen to have. With the brake pedal fully depressed, you can get the push rod far enough out to be able to get a spanner on that lock nut, and if you need to hold the swage, you could probably get in with a pair of long-nosed vice grips, but in all honesty it would have been easier to have taken it back off and done it on the bench. Anyway, I hope this little video helps you. Thank you for watching.